This is the Aflac Insurance Inside High School Sports Show, highlighting all of Section 3, interviewing the greatest local coaches and athletes. Brought to you by SummitCars.com, broadcasting in the ESPN Studios. Here's your host, Mike Bristol, and Eagle Newspapers' Phil Blackwell.
All right, here we are on it. Phil, what's up?
Oh, it's a busy winter season. We're starting to look a little bit towards about 2/3 of the way through the winter sports regular season in basketball and hockey, and now heading towards the final third of the season. There hasn't been much backup because the weather's behaved for the most part, even though it's pretty tricky out there this morning, but plenty to get to today and some interesting conversations.
Well, a great program like usual. We've got a Wegmans winning spotlight interview we're going to kick things off with an interview with the members of the Weedsport girls basketball team. Another great season unfolding for both of the Weedsport basketball teams. The boys are undefeated, and the girl Warriors are close to perfect, number 9 in the state Class C rankings. They've won 15 games in a row, following a season-opening loss to who was it?
Palmer Macedon, I think it was.
Okay. Well, that was actually an opening
game of the season. They've won every game since.
I wonder why they scheduled that to kick things off with. What happened?
Tough. Make it tough.
You're right.
But nonetheless, they've been undefeated since.
Earlier this month, by the way, Weedsport head coach Chris Farguson, 200 career victories with the team well positioned to get its first sectional title since 2013. Farguson is joining us alongside with several of his players, Susie Nemec, I guess Emma Starks, Sarah Carroll, and a whole group of kids coming in studio.
The thing about Nemec is she has put up a couple of the biggest performances of the season. I think she had something like 43 points in a game against Little Falls, and they needed every one of them back in a game of the first week of January. Then this week, in a tough game against one of their big rivals, Port Byron, she dropped 42 points again. Susie's put up some amazing numbers for this team, but she doesn't do it alone. The Weedsport wouldn't have the record they have without having solid offensive options around Nemec and a strong team that's really, really hungry still.
Close to the 45 Westbrook put up last night, I think it was.
Yeah.
Now for Upstate University Hospital spotlight interview, members of Faith Heritage boys basketball team. And despite its modest size, the Faith Heritage School has carved out quite a basketball legacy through the decades, but it's been 15 years since the Saints last won a Section 3 title. This winter, that could change as Faith Heritage has made plenty of headlines, reaching the state Class D rankings and putting up some memorable performances while building a 9-4 record against a mostly Class C schedule. Join us, our Saints head coach, Jason Allwood, as well as his starting five. I think we've got Retzo's in studio, Sullivan, Lucero, Henderson, Zach Siviak, all here in studio with us as well.
The thing about Faith Heritage, you have to remember, even though they're a Class D team come sectional playoff time, they're playing a Class C schedule. And that means the teams like Weedsport, Onondaga, Port Byron, pretty strong league, and a good thing that prepare them ultimately for the sectional Class D playoffs, because those top teams in Class D, the likes of DeRuyter and Lyme, and to a lesser degree Hamilton, although Hamilton plays a lot of Class C teams as well, that's, I think, the sort of thing that will make them very tough. And they have played tough games against the likes of Onondaga, a state-ranked Class C team. That tells you Faith Heritage is going to be a very tough outcome postseason. They made a good run last year, and they seem to be well positioned, I think, this season, because Retzos is a player you have to really try and contain. He's special, and he's got enough around him that they're going to have to worry about him.
And then finally, we're going to kick things finish things up with our SummitCars.com spotlight interview with members of the Christian Brothers Academy boys basketball team. And 2 weeks ago on the court, named in his honor and the alma mater to which he has dedicated virtually his whole life, Buddy Waklinski won his 500th career game with Christian Brothers Academy, defeated Solvay. And few people in any high school sport here in Central New York has attached to a school and a program the way Buddy has, winning including 8 sectional titles and a 1997 state championship. And we're going to talk to Buddy and his assistant coach, Ed Leone, for, I guess, 30 years here.
Well, I mean, Ed won't be here. I guess Buddy will be here by himself this time.
Eddie's not coming in?
Not this time. But in the meantime, I think Buddy will be glad to talk about this season, because this is one of his better, I think, jobs in terms of teams started slowly at 1-4. Didn't seem to have a ton of talent on there, but they've turned it around. Now they're a couple of games above 500. They're on a good roll, won 3 times this week. We'll be challenging Bishop Ludden tomorrow in the Holy War as part of the Pathfinder Bank Classic.
Of
That's
course.
always a big deal. But CB has been playing pretty well the last month or so, led by the sophomore, Dan Anderson. And, Buddy, you can talk about his whole career. I mean, 500 wins is a big deal. How many more coaches will ever get to that milestone?
Not a lot. This week, let's talk about the Frontier League here for a second, Phil, in our top 10. You can check out Phil's top 10 on InsideHighSchoolSports.com, always published and always brought to you by Philly B, who was an incredible high school writer here. Lowville boys basketball team has risen to the top of the state Class B rankings for the first time, but that doesn't mean that the Red Raiders have smooth sailing here. Let's talk about it with the postseason hits. Where do you see this team right now? OHSL, Liberty Division. And then you've also got Salve piling up some wins. You got Justin Scott doing his thing. You got Casanova. You got all Skinny Atlas doing their thing. Salve, a lot of great teams here.
Well, with Lowville, I think the thing is they're running through the Frontier League. They're handling all their opposition, and they're still the favorites because, remember, their only loss this season was to a very powerful Albany Academy team. So they've been handling everything. In terms of the challenges they might yet face, Salve might be the most consistent sort of team. They've won a bunch of games the last couple of weeks without Justin Scott in the lineup, and Scott will return in a couple of weeks, and once he's back, there might be the main threat. But you've also got the two Laker teams. Casanova was going for a while, but then Skinny Atlas just beat them on a last-second basket on Wednesday night. A very important win for that Skinny Atlas team because they'd lost a couple of times the week before. Still, those two or three teams are probably lining up as the main threats to Lowville, but for now, the Red Raiders remain the team to beat.
The Lowville Class AA boys basketball pitcher altered direction again last week. Baldwinsville going from big back-to-back wins over Corcoran and CNS to falling Monday to Rome Free Academy on a last-second shot. Corcoran also lost to Liverpool, who has lost 6 in a row before that. What's going on, Phil?
Well, it's, like I said, it's been this sort of season where every week there's a new hot team, it seems. Ludden has been the most consistent team, though. I watched them last night win a dramatic game over Bishop Grimes, and that was a fun game.
Well, West Jenny here, 6-game win streak, too.
And West Jenny's got a 6-game win streak going into tonight's game. They're part of the Pathfinder Event Classic. They're playing a Liverpool team who beat them earlier this year. That tells you how crazy it's been. Corcoran, on the other hand, got a big come-from-behind win over Henniker last week to break their skid. Got a combined 67 points from DeJour Reeves, who had 41, and DJ Haynes, who had 26. And so Corcoran needed that win badly. Beeville beat FM last night. For once, it wasn't Starling carrying them. He only had 22 points somehow. Got Nicholson 21. Beeville gets West Genesee next Friday. Remember how great Starling was the first time those two teams played each other? Yep. That could be a very important game next Friday in terms of how the rest of the AA picture plays out. But remember, Ludden's the team that still only has the one loss to Corcoran in their own tournament. But otherwise, they've beaten everybody.
Hey, Whitesboro still in defeat, 11-0, number 9.
And still are. They beat RFA last night. I mean, they have kept themselves unblemished. Keep going.
Well, and then obviously Class A ESM tumbled back a little bit here at Central Square last week.
But they bounced back this week with a couple of impressive wins. Handled Auburn last night by like 25. ESM and JD, who since they've lost ESM, JD's won, I think, 4 straight. And they're heading towards a clash in a week and a half, a rematch of the game that ESM won with a late comeback. You know JD's primed for that rematch about 10 days from now.
You know, some undefeated teams here in Section 3 still, I think, Whitesboro, DeRuyter, and also Lyme, correct?
DeRuyter and Lyme have kept themselves unbeaten among the D sides, and they're maybe tumbling towards the top 2 seeds in Class D, managing to keep themselves unblemished. I think DeRuyter scored like 107 points in the game last night, something like that. I mean,
and then you also mentioned, obviously, we mentioned Copenhagen here, 4th in the state. Hamilton and Old Forge, also part of those rankings. You've got Weedsport, as you mentioned, navigated through its first 12 opponents without a defeat, number 7 in the state rankings. Cooperstown, 10 in a row after an 0-2 start. DeRuyter, we mentioned, 14-0. Weedsport's case, you know, some of the back-and-back weekend stuff going on there. But then you've got, I think, Onondaga has got a 12 ranking here in the state, and I think
last night we had a big one in boys basketball. Onondaga had their unbeaten mark, or challenged Weedsport. It was a close game for 3 quarters, but Weedsport pulled away to win, and they are still without a defeat, Weedsport. Earlier this week, Cooperstown saw their win streak ended. I think it was by Herkimer. It was like a 10-game win streak they had, but Herkimer broke it up on Monday. So there's another team, Herkimer, not to forget in terms of the whole Class C picture. But it comes back to Weedsport again. I mean, can they keep themselves undefeated all the way to the end? They've got some tough games against some Class B teams yet. I think they play Skinny Atlas next week, among other things. So we'll see if Weedsport can stay unbeaten.
All right, so Phil and I, we're going to get to, obviously, our weekly interviews. We're going to kick things off with our Wegmans winning spotlight interview with members of the Weedsport girls basketball team. go right through our interviews, and then right at the end of the show, Phil, let's take the last 3-4 minutes. Let's get through a little bit more with girls hoops. Let's catch up a little bit on wrestling and volleyball as well. Okay, so we'll be right back. Of course, is the Athletic Insurance Inside High School Sports Show presented by SummitCars.com.
This is the Aflac Insurance Inside High School Sports Show, brought to you by SummitCars.com.
All right, here we are back on it. Mike Bristol and the great Phil Blackwell taking care of things as always. And, Coach, welcome in studio. So we've got, first of all, let's find out what's going on here. Our Wegmans winning spotlight interview, Weedsport girls basketball team, right, in studio. Is that right? Is that correct? Chris Ferguson, what's up, Coach?
Not much. Nice Saturday morning.
A beautiful Saturday morning. So, Coach, let's talk about this for a second. 200 career victories with the team. Talk about the girls right now. Class C rankings. Where are you girls? Right now, number 9? Get close to the microphone, Coach,
I think
for
we're
me.
9, yeah. I don't pay much attention to what we are in the state. That's
Come on, Coach. You don't celebrate that at all?
I take care of the day-to-day stuff.
All right, tell me about the girls this year. Tell me about how well they've been playing for me.
They've been playing very well.
Can you get close to the microphone now, Coach?
Sorry.
Yep, go ahead.
This team plays great team ball. They all look out for each other. They work very hard, and I'm very proud of this basketball team.
All right, let's talk to your assistant. Coach PJ, what's going on? How are you?
Not much. I'm good. How you doing?
15 wins in a row. Talk about that for us.
That's right. Yeah, we had a tough first game against Pal Mac. They're a state-ranked Class B team from Section 5.
I was just asking Phil about that. So you scheduled that for your first game?
Yeah, it was our second year in a Thanksgiving tournament at South Seneca, who's been a perennial power.
Yeah.
And they're right up the road, and we kind of have a Section 5 connection. Our new AD, Zach Young, he was the coach at Lions for years.
Okay.
So we have a little bit of some Section 5 ties that we're using to help beef up our schedule a little bit. And we also scheduled out the Utica area a little bit, too. So
Gotcha.
Waterville and Little Falls this year. So
very cool.
Yeah, we definitely challenged ourselves a little bit this year. So.
All right, great. Susie, where's Susie? Say hello to everybody. Susie, how are you?
Good, how are you?
What position, Susie?
Shooting guard.
Shooting guard. You like to check it up?
Yeah.
Phil always talks. Yeah, you like the ball. You like the ball in your hand. Talk a little bit about the team as well. Where you girls are positioned. How well you've been playing.
We're definitely playing really well as a team this year, and we're all cooperating, and it's just a lot of fun to be around these girls.
Nice. Emma, what's up, Emma?
Not much. How are you?
I'm doing well. Tell me a little bit about this team as well.
I'm actually really, really proud of this team. We've all come really far. We've gotten a lot closer and gotten better all around.
Good job. Mariah Quigley. What's up, Mariah?
Nothing.
What position, Mariah?
I play down low most of the time.
Down low, so grabbing some boards, right? Kicking people out of the way, that kind of stuff. Get a little bit closer.
Yep.
Tell me what's the fun part about this team for you?
I don't know. We all have come really close together, and we're working hard every day. And I feel like we've come a far way. People didn't believe in us.
All right.
What we're doing.
Nice. Jenna, talk a little about the team as well. Jenna Sullivan, what's up, Jenna?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So tell me about this team as well.
We've been playing for a long time. We've been playing since 3rd grade, I think. And then we would travel with AAU and stuff, and it's just amazing to see how far we have come. So
yeah, Aaron Grady. Where's Aaron Grady? Aaron, you didn't want to be next or what? Come on, get close to the mic. You look like you're oh man, I gotta talk. So, Aaron, what year are you?
Huh?
Junior, senior?
Oh, junior.
All right, so you're a junior. And other sports? You play any other sports besides hoops?
Field hockey.
Field hockey, big field hockey player. All right, do the two? A lot of the girls play both sports, or
Yeah.
All right, so it's got to be nice seeing the same faces, hanging out with the same girls.
Yeah.
Are you the jokester on the team? Because you seem so. Okay. I know. Coach is saying no. I got that. Jocelyn, where's Keppel?
Hi.
What's up, Jocelyn?
Not much.
Tell me about the team as well.
Well, we've been playing together for a long time, so
Okay.
we've all been super close, so it makes this year fun. So it's easy to work together, and we just work hard every day.
Good. Julianne Miles. Julianne, come over here for a second. So what happened, Julianne? Give us the breakdown. Get close to the microphone if you can. I can't believe you guys are making the girl who's on a crutch stand up. Jeez. What happened? Ankle twist?
Sprain.
Sprain.
Yeah.
The worst. High ankle sprain?
Yeah.
How'd you do it? Running, jumping, come down to rebound? What happened?
I was playing defense.
Backwards? Back pedaling?
Yeah, basically.
Tripped on yourself?
Yeah, I just landed. I landed wrong.
The teammate landed on her.
Oh man, terrible
we're not gonna mention
teammate.
that.
Terrible. Franny, did Franny land on you? No.
Yeah.
Franny, get over here on the microphone.
Okay.
Give us the play-by-play. What happened? I want you to describe this injury for us. Franny, get close to the microphone. Come on now.
She was like playing defense, and I was trying to help, and it didn't help.
Apparently not. Let's talk about this team here for a second. Weedsport girls basketball team, top section of playoff seeds, obviously here. Coach, when you look at playoffs, what's the big thing for you? What are you telling the girls?
We're taking one day at a time. We're not even looking at the playoffs right now. We're preparing for Cato on Thursday, and we just had a tough stretch this week. We played Waterville at home, and we played Port Byron, which is a big rival. And Port Byron's much improved, and they battled us at home. So we're just going to work on a few things going forward, maybe add a couple of new things, and get ready for the next game, and then the next one, and the next one.
That's good. Assistant coach, let's bounce back to you here, PJ, for a second. In a strange way, let's talk about the seasoning opening loss, but then what has taken place since. How did that set things up for you guys?
I think we took a lot out of that game. We kind of shot ourselves in the foot early on, and we had some really, really bad foul trouble. Susie had to sit for, probably almost the entire first half. Picked up 4 fouls in the first half, I think it was. So if you look at her game log, you'll see that she had like 10 points that game, and then it just kind of skyrocketed since. So Mariah got in a little foul trouble through that game. So we've kind of learned how to defend without fouling, and that's been a big key for us.
Yeah, that's good.
So we took a little lesson out of that. And then it's cheesy, and we try not to use cliches and stuff. You know, it's coach speak, but we truly do take one game at a time. After PB in the locker room the other night, we kind of reflected on the week. We said, girls, you played a really, really tough schedule this week, a really good Waterville team, really physical Port Byron team. And I think it was Susie said, geez, I forgot about the Waterville game the other night. We just are really focused on which game is that night and what we need to do on a given night. So
nice.
Not even really looking ahead. So.
Susie, let's go to you here for a second. We've got our Wegmans Winning Spotlight interview. Defensively, what has worked for you girls? And, last year's sectional semifinal when Cooperstown scored 63 points. What have you done different this year?
Well, we definitely knew that we needed to step up our defense. And when we play man and 32, it really it brings everyone up. And we want to play more aggressive at that time.
Get some turnovers, some double teams. Do you guys press a lot?
We're getting to press more, but our press has really worked this year.
All right, very nice. PJ, talk about the defense of this team and some of the things that you have the girls doing differently this year.
We mix it up. We rotate defenses. Usually we come in and we have, something in mind early on, and then usually over the course of the game we kind of fish around and kind of make adjustments at half. A lot of times we ask the kids, hey, what's working? Is there 3-2 zone working? Is it man-to-man? What's it going to be? Do we want to press? So a lot of times it's up to, they're the ones that are out there. They're the ones that kind of have a feel for it. So,
right.
We have different ones that we play, and we just kind of figure it out and fish around and find the one that night. So.
Nice. Emma, let's go to you for a second. You're having a big season here, and Phil and I were talking a little bit about this. Talk about your strengths here with this team.
I think playing with this team, it gives me more of an opportunity to shoot the ball and show more of my skill in driving as well. Because either if I'm driving in or if I'm open outside, they always know what to do with the ball.
Gotcha. Yep. Coach, fairly young team, except for, is it one senior on the team? One senior.
Yep.
So nice for next year and a great season right now. You got to be excited. Not that you want to look forward, because clearly you've been telling me one game at a time.
Yep.
But it's nice to have these girls another season.
I'm looking forward to it. I would like to get through this season, and then I am.
And then
not looking too far ahead.
Too far ahead.
I think this team prides themselves on defense. We play great man-to-man defense, and it gives us opportunities to get out and run and transition. And the one thing that I am totally impressed with this team about is each of them are willing to do what they need to do to benefit the overall success of this team, whether it's not start, whether it's playing minutes or not playing minutes, scoring points, or drawing an opposing player that you have to defend either in the post or out on the perimeter, and they're very unselfish and they work together as a team.
That's great. Susie, you went off for 43. I was just talking about Westbrook's 45 last night. So nice job. Tell me, that was, what was it, Little Falls? Yeah. Tell me about that game. You went off a little bit, did your thing. Did you say, feed me, let's go, give me the ball?
Yeah, I really felt that driving was working best for me, and I ended up shooting 21 free throws, and
wow.
I don't usually shoot that much, but
What'd you go? 20 for 21, 19 for what? No. 15?
Let's see, 14 for 21.
14 for 21.
Think
Come
about
on,
it. She could have had
Susie.
50.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
She's a good free throw shooter.
I was really looking for like more of my team, and I don't like to play selfish at all.
Yeah.
So when I was driving, I wasn't even paying attention to the points. I never do. And by the end of the game, when people told me, I was like, oh, wow, I thought I only had like 30, 35 around there.
Still great. Big time. Coach, 200 wins. Pretty big deal. It's got to be exciting. It's got to be fun with all the years and all the kids you've coached.
Yep. And I probably could name 90% of them. You know, I see them all the time in my mind, and I wouldn't have 200 wins if it wasn't for each one of them coming along through this programming, making it better each year.
Yeah, that's great. All right, let's do some shout-outs so everybody can talk here for a second. Let's go with Emma. Give a shout-out. Who you want to give a shout-out to? Who are you excited to say hello to?
I want to give a shout out to my parents because they've been behind me through every step of my basketball career.
Nice. Mariah.
I would also like to thank my parents because they've been there since day one and are always supportive of what I do.
Very nice. Jenna.
My parents as well and my brother because they just always show up and they're very supportive of me.
All right, Aaron.
I'd like to give a shout out to my parents and my sisters because they're always there for me and very supportive.
Very cool. Keppel.
Also my parents, they've showed me how to encourage my teammates, and my brother for pushing me hard on the court.
I like that.
You girls got it all together. Julianne, how about you?
A shout out to my parents and my brother Justin. I love you, Justin. They're really supportive of me, and I love them.
And your ankle. Franny.
Family and coaches.
Very nice, Franny.
Me throughout everything.
Franny, you are crazy outgoing. Come here for a second. Are you also someone that is scared of that microphone? No. What year are you? Come here. What year are you? This is helping you. Come here, get close to me. You sophomore?
Yeah.
Nice. What's your favorite subject? You know what favorite subject is? It basketball, gym, phys ed, English, science, math? Not school at all? Oh, and I forgot Susie. Shout out, Susie. Where are you
Definitely a shout out to my parents and this team, and definitely the coaches who've helped me through all of this.
going? All right, PJ.
Shout out to the JV squad that's back at home. And they're in the practice. They do all the same drills as these kids do. We practice together, so they're having a really good year, too. They're 15-1 as well. So shout out to those kids who put in just the same amount of work as the varsity kids.
All right, Coach.
I would give a shout out to everyone that has touched this basketball program or all of our sports programs back at Weedsport to make it all better. I wouldn't single out one person, but if I had to, my JV coaches over the years have really done a great job of everything that they've done to make me a better coach. So
Very nice.
Shout out to them.
All right, ESPN Radio 97.7, 100.1. Be right back.
This is the Aflac Insurance Inside High School Sports Show, brought to you by SummitCars.com.
All right, here we are back on it. Mike Bristol and the great Phil Blackwell. And talking Faith Heritage Hoops right now. Coach, what's going on? Great to have you on the program. Jason Awad, what's going on?
Hey, first of all, thanks for having us. Super excited to be here.
Love it.
And just enjoying our Saturday, and thanks for having us.
So let's talk a little bit about Faith Heritage. 15 years since the Saints have won a Section 3 title. Looking good right now, 9-4 record. Tell me a little bit about the season so far.
Sure. Started 5-0.
Okay.
We are 5-0 at home, 4-4 away, so I've had some challenging games on the road. Weedsport, at Cato, at Onondaga, so definitely some rivalries, some challenges. But we have a stretch of 5 games at home coming up, so we're really excited and getting ready for the stretch run.
Jay, are you a Syracuse guy?
Huge Syracuse guy, yes.
But from Syracuse, from the area?
Yes, Syracuse.
Where'd you go to high school and everything?
Went to high school, Faith Heritage.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, graduated 2002. Also with my assistant and JV coach Ryan Nellenbach, we played together.
Nellenbach, who grabbed me in the studio for a second. Nellenbach, jump on the microphone for a second. So you said I don't remember, but your pops played with us in the Skinny Atlas League.
Yeah, my old man played in the Skinny Atlas League, outdoor league.
Nice.
A lot of time.
I can't remember. I kind of remember maybe.
Lots of high school basketball players coming back to play in that league. We had Scott Unger, Craig Wadla, a lot of those guys.
Yeah, good crew. Those two both are terrible basketball players. Coach, all right, or Nellenbach, one more second. So what got you hooked up with AWOD?
So I've coached in the area as as an assistant with McKinney when he was at JD.
Another terrible coach. Go on.
I did some, and then I moved on to OCC women's program in 2009 as
with
an
Wheeler,
assistant.
Hanging out with Mike Wheeler.
Yeah, one year there, and then I
my boy
I hung
Wheeler.
around for a little while, and then got connected last year as an assistant with the varsity, and now I'm the JV coach and assistant with the varsity again.
Nice, congratulations, that's great.
Thanks.
How's your dad doing, by the way?
He's since passed, but he's still
Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Yeah. So I was always at high school basketball games with him, and he'd always pushed me to coach, and finally got back into it.
The man, look at that. That's awesome. So I'm trying to think what year was that, Nellenbach?
Gosh, that's got to be 20 years
ago.
23 years ago.
In college, I wonder if I was still in college or out of
Not to
college.
date you, but you're pretty good.
Yeah, talking about 45, buddy. Back in the year. Well, that's awesome. Great to have you in the studio. Thanks for coming in,
Thanks
buddy.
for having us.
Good to catch up. All right, let's talk about some of the kids in studio. Aiden, what's up, Aiden?
What's going on?
You're fired up, aren't you? Let's go. Aiden, get close to that microphone. What position?
Point guard.
Point guard.
Yeah.
You deal a lot with Coach? You guys constantly working together? Is he telling you what to do, how to do it?
Yeah, you can
Or do you got some freedom? You got some little latitude to your thing?
I got some freedom.
That's good. All right. Shahad, what's going on? Say hello, everybody.
Yeah.
I like your sweatshirt. You got a cool sweatshirt. Caleb, what's up, Caleb?
How you doing?
What's going on with you?
Nothing much.
Caleb was in the, I don't know what you were doing when I was, whatever. Jared Henderson, what's up, Jared?
Not much. How are you?
Jared, what do you study?
I'm going to study for college. Is that
Yeah, what do you want to do?
Optometry.
Nice. Very interesting. Parents, optometrist, or where?
No, I work in Malera Eye Care currently. So.
Right now you're in eye care. So in high school?
Yes.
So you're like take care of the whole team, or what do you do?
Not yet, and I don't have those benefits.
keep networking. You can be the sports eye care guide. Zach, what's going on, Zach?
How's it going?
What's happening?
Nothing much.
That's right, Zach.
They're tired from breakfast. We got breakfast
You
before.
already had practice before?
We a breakfast.
Oh, breakfast.
We had breakfast before, and we had some guys had, I won't name names, but Oreo pancakes and strawberry pancakes.
Oh, man. Good, healthy stuff to start your morning. I really like it. Coach, let's talk about small run last year's sectional playoffs. I think you beat DeRuyter, what? Or
Yeah,
okay,
Copenhagen on the road, and then we played at DeRuyter second round. Very challenging first half. We didn't play our greatest in the first half, got down by 21, and the kids just kept fighting, cut it to 7 with about a minute and a half left.
Nice.
And just ran out of steam. It's just always a challenge to come back versus a really good team. And lost one on the road, but we're hosting them next week in a non-league game, so we're looking forward to that opportunity, and I think it'll be a good measuring stick for us as where we are in the season. So,
Aiden, let's talk about 1,000 career points. Only a junior, right? So you got another season here.
Yeah.
Great job. What's the best part of your game? What do you like to do the most?
I say drive to the basket.
Get to the basket, finish a little bit, drive and dish.
Yeah, of
a lot of that in your game.
Yeah.
NBA. Who's your favorite NBA player?
Russell Westbrook.
45 was the last night I've been talking about this. Yeah, 45. He's had. I forgot how many they said he's had. How many has he had of those? Do you know? Do you remember from ESPN? I just listened. I just saw it this morning on ESPN. I forgot what the stats were though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nellenbach can pull it up. Let's go, kid. Come on, get it on your phone. Phil probably memorized it. For goodness sakes. Jason, let's bounce to you here for a second, and I want to know about Aiden. Talk about how tough he is. Talk about colleges. What's he going to do? What do you think he can do? What are some plans for him?
Yeah, so Aiden's been playing on varsity since a freshman. He was our sixth man as a freshman. And I could tell you he's one of the hardest working players and kids that I've seen. He has gotten so much better over the years. Just as you know, just scored his 1,000th point. And he's really looking to grow his game the rest of the season and the off season. And doesn't have a specific college point, in the future, but with his talent, he's definitely going to go somewhere. And I know his love for basketball is unbelievable. And that's going to drive him, and we're going to try to put him in the best position for the next level.
Our Upstate University Spotlight interview. Coach, talk about the 50. It was against Lafayette. 50 against Lafayette.
50. Yeah, unbelievable high school game, to be quite honest. So it was a pretty ugly, low-scoring first half. It was 27 to 23. And then I think both teams woke up a little bit and down to the wire, had our chances, give Lafayette a lot of credit. They made plays and eventually went into overtime. About halfway through the fourth quarter, my assistant, Brett, filled me in a little bit on how the game was going in terms of Aiden, and it's just unbelievable. And we ended up losing a tough one in overtime, but I do think we're going to learn a lot from it for future.
All right, very good. Chad, let's go to you here for a second again. Come on, get close to this microphone. What's your favorite part of hanging out with this team?
Just having fun,
What do you guys do? Do you guys go out dinners? What do you guys do for fun?
Play basketball.
A lot of hoop. A lot of hoop. You guys do any one-on-one stuff, like one-on-one tourneys and two-on-two and any of that kind of stuff, or is it mostly team stuff? Just practice stuff. Caleb, let's go to you for a second here on the microphone. Favorite part of this team? What do you like doing?
Just getting to hang out with the team, practice with each other.
What do you guys do off the court? What kind of stuff?
Off the court. I mean, like today we went to breakfast.
Right.
Had some fun.
Where'd you guys go to breakfast?
Went to
Stella's.
Stella, of course. Of course you went to Stella's. Your coaches introduced you to that, or one of your parents?
I don't really know. I don't know if I've ever been there with my parents.
So the coaches.
I've heard of it.
Coaches always know about Stella's. Jared, let's go to you. Jared, what's your favorite part besides checking everybody's eyes on this team?
And just hang out with these guys in practice. Love just challenge each other to grow and get better as men and basketball players, obviously.
Absolutely.
It's more than the game.
Nice. Zach, how about you?
My favorite part is just, having fun because we've all known each other for a really long time.
Right.
And, these been my guys for the countless amount of years.
Very cool. I like it. Coach, what's that? Your son? Where's your son? What's his name?
Yes, one of 4 boys.
One of 4? He had 4.
4 boys.
Nice.
So this is Braden. He's 8. I have a 6-year-old.
What's up, Braden? Braden, say hello to everybody.
Hey.
Braden, you play ball or no?
Yeah.
You play what position? What do you like doing? Learn everything though, right? Because you're a young guy. You got to learn dribbling, your rebound, your shooting.
Yeah, he's got a big game this afternoon.
Who's he playing?
3:30 over in Liverpool Upward Basketball.
Nice.
So yeah, so we have an 8-year-old.
Braden, you talk any trash on the court? Okay, good job.
We do have to be careful though. Referees once in a while.
My son, I brought out to Biddy basketball, and they line you up, and he's only 6'6.5", and they line you up, the 5 guys, and they line up the other 5 guys, and you point who you're guarding to. I'm guarding him. My son goes, I'm going to take the ball from you. And I go, Blake. You're talking trash already? Come on, buddy. I got to dial you in. It was pretty funny. Coach, let's talk about Faith Heritage as a private school and describe, I guess, what that's like coaching. I mean, it's a lot different from obviously the city schools and the public schools.
So I've had the joy of, I actually graduated there in 2002, played on the team. So
great Christian school.
Absolutely.
Yep.
We've, now being the coach, although things have changed a lot over the last 18 years, I think it's a great opportunity to really connect with the players on and off the court. It's a small knit community, and we really have a great fan base, and really care about the kids, and so do the teachers that teach there.
Absolutely, I love it too, and I love that it's Christian based, and I think that's great. And I have a friend that went there, loved going to Faith Heritage. All right, let's do some shout outs. Aiden, number 50 points. Shout out. Who are you going to give a shout out to? Family?
Here. Yeah,
parents?
Family.
All right.
Yeah.
Good job. Shad?
Definitely my family. That's it.
Very good. Caleb, shout out. Who do you give a shout out to?
Probably my family, but probably most importantly my dad.
Very nice. Jared, how about you?
Shout out to my parents and my siblings.
All right. Zach?
Shout out to all my family down south, up here, wherever they all are.
All right. And Mr. Nellenbeck, right? Let's give a shout out to your dad.
Yeah, shout out to my old man.
Absolutely. God bless him. And how's your mom doing?
She's doing great.
grandkids live next door, and then I live down the street a little bit with another grandkid. So
I love it.
doing great.
Very, very good. And Coach, who to give a shout out to?
Shout out definitely to my family and my 4 boys, and then Buffalo Bills Nation. So.
All right, there you go.
Buffalo Bills, come on. All right, Upstate University, Hobbs State interview. Faith Heritage Boys basketball team. Give you guys a big round of applause. Come on. We'll be right back.
This is the Aflac Insurance Inside High School Sports Show, brought to you by SummitCars.com.
All right, here we are back on it. Mike Bristol and the great Phil Blackwell, who does so much and takes care of this each and every week, the great Phil Blackwell. So Buddy Waklinski in studio, 500 W's. A few more than that now, 500 and what? 2, 3? What?
503, yeah,
503.
but who's counting, right?
So I got it. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, not much, Mike. How you doing?
503.
Yeah. Thanks for having
100
us in.
years of coaching. 50, you know?
Yeah, it's not bad when you average it out. It works out pretty well. Yeah, it's a longevity deal.
No
when you look
question.
at it, you just got to be around. Fortunate to be able to be in a situation that you can be supported for that many years in order to get it done. So it's really a testament to the players that we had, the program, the school. I mean, you take Eddie Leone, our assistant. He's been there 25 years.
Eddie.
Yeah, and he's a big part of it. You know, so
8
so it's
sectional
nice.
titles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that?
State championship in 97. Tell me about the state championship, that team, 97.
Yeah. No. That was a very good basketball team. It was a bunch of tough kids. There was, and it was the chemistry between the group was unbelievable.
Did you
They were
know
just
it
tough.
even in the beginning of the year?
We knew going in, and it was as we started to slide forward in 95, we went through a couple tough years. And then 95, we started to get a little better. 96, we were starting to show growth. So when we went into 97, we thought that that we had a chance to be pretty good. State championship, you never see that. And with Bishop Ludden at that point was pretty good. They had the Campolitas.
Was it Pat and who?
Yeah, Pat was there and Chris. Chris was the AD at Beeville now. We actually played them. We split with them during the year, and we played them in the game to go to the state tournament. And I was at Liverpool, full house. We ended up winning. It was an unbelievable atmosphere. Absolutely. They were turning way before we got there.
Our SummitCars.com spotlight interview, Buddy Waklinski, 500th wins, CBA. All right, talk about the game, bud.
Yeah, so it in that situation, it was just a great win, and we'd finally gotten over it because Ludden was very successful for a long time. It's very similar. It's like they had a run where they had beaten us. Correct, with Infante, and they beat us in the sectional championship that year.
Guy, by the way,
Yeah.
He probably never supplemented.
Yep, and
Although his own kid goes to CBA, doesn't it?
His daughter does. Yep, his daughter Emma goes to CBA. But he was on that team, and Jason Leone, who's coaching Oswego, was on our team.
Big Jace.
They beat us in the sectional championship game that year, 94, to go to the States. But yeah, so 97. So they had gone through a run where they had beaten us a lot of times in a row. So then we flipped it. We ended up beating them, and we had a stretch, which you don't remember. We had a stretch where we beat them about 12 or 13 times in a row.
Which, by the way, they're going to play tomorrow.
Yep.
And you're playing tomorrow as part of the Pathfinder.
Phil, are you a mic 4 or what mic you on here, buddy? Come on. See, you're at a mic that you're not even on your original mic.
All
Come
right.
on.
So anyway, the Pathfinder Blank Classics tomorrow, CBA Ludden. But what is marked about the Holy War series is that there have been these kinds of runs.
Correct.
Where teams won 10 in a row, 12 in a row in the series. Yeah. But go back. You were
and
saying
that's
that
just
night.
nuts. Exactly what happened. So we went through a run where we won about 14 in a row. And then it flipped. So they ended up, we've had some great games. You know, we lost in overtime at the buzzer 2 years ago with a team that I thought, really worked hard and really had gotten better. Last year we finally beat them, so we broke the long streak that they had. So it'll be fun. It's always fun when you go and you can play against them, and there's kind of a history that I think.
Unfortunately, though, you do not have the old school jerseys like you had in some of those Pathfinder Bank Classic games the last few years when you were bringing out the old Catholic school, like the old Catholic League, whatever, parochial league, I think it was.
Yeah, we've done it. I think it was 5 or 6 years that we went through. We finished the parochial league, and actually last year, if you remember, we did a CBA Ludden throwback where we actually got the uniforms that. We went from 74 for us, so Eddie Leone got to wear. Eddie Leone had to wear his uniforms, but no, we purchased a new set, and then Ludden got them from the same year. So in fact, our JVs are wearing them now. So the Ludden JVs, but so it's been great. And I think we just it's run its course. So I think on tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon, it'll be great, the girls and the guys, and
Yeah.
and see what happens.
All right, we'll be right back real quick. We're going to come back with Buddy. We just got to get a couple more ads in ESPN Radio 97.7, 100.1.
This is the Aflac Insurance Inside High School Sports Show, brought to you by SummitCars.com.
All right, back on it. Mike Bristol, Phil Blackwell, Buddy Wiklinski, Mr. 503 to be exact in studio. Any sort of cool celebration or anything that happened there, Buddy? I mean, wife bringing in a huge cake, kids do some stuff.
It's been great. The kids, the kids and the parents were very supportive. And after the game, we did have some cake, and they did have a sign, and the kids had signs. It was very nice. And then the school did a little presentation before our game against Bishop Grimes. So it's been very nice. The community's been very nice
how
to
it
me.
should be. That's outstanding. Guys that you've coached and kids that come back, and I know like alumni weekends or even just for certain games, you'll see some people in the stands. Who do you keep in touch with, or who do you still see, or who do you? I mean, there's got to be so many.
It's exactly
right.
And even we get to see a bunch of them, and Eddie does a great job of keeping the network together.
Oh yeah. Up
so
and
he's
playing the games at his house. And
you got it. Over the summer, they go there. So the alumni go up to his house over the summer and play, and we bring some of the younger kids so that they get a feel for what it was like.
Lead Legs Leon shows them how it is.
There you go. And it's just, when you're doing it, I think in this day and age, that with all the AAU stuff, you've got to try to show them that there's more to high school sports than that. It's not just basketball. So it's great when we can get the alumni back to talk to the kids. And they have stories. You find out when the alumni come back in, and you remember you played, Mike. You don't remember what the records were, how many points you had. What you remember is a bus ride, or you remember something happened in the locker room or a practice.
No question.
And that's what you're trying to get the kids to understand, that there's just more to it. Just enjoy the time that you're here, or whatever's going to happen.
And most kids don't go on and do anything in college, right?
And
so this is the exciting part.
And even some of them that do, if you played in college, it's not the same as high school. High school, it's
Not
your
even
friends.
close.
Your friends are in the stands.
It's still a game.
Exactly.
Still a
and you're
game.
playing
I remember
and
playing at
people care.
Brockport, and there's like 10 people in the stand.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? For a game, high school, there's 3,000 people. The whole gym is filled.
And how many even make it all the way through? You play for a couple of years and realize it's not what you meant out to be. So that's what we're trying to do. And some of the great players in high school, college is tough. College basketball
Just
is tough.
a different thing.
Yeah. So it's we just try to make sure that they live in the moment, and they're not looking forward and
it's great
or trying
perspective.
to think this is a stepping stone. Just play basketball, enjoy what you're doing, and if it's meant to be, it will, and we'll make sure you can get there if you're capable of doing it.
How fast has it flown?
40-some years. I mean,
It's nuts,
30-some
isn't it?
years.
Right?
36
It is.
as
No,
a
it
head
is.
coach. I mean,
36 head, right? 40 at CBA because I did 4 years of JVs before that. Who knows where the time goes?
When did you graduate CBA?
75.
And then you came back to coach in 84?
80. I started JVs 80.
80.
Yeah. So it was
Varsity.
1 year in between. I coached at Sacred Heart Grammar School my first year out of college.
was that the plan all along? I mean, after you graduate from CBA, did you ever think, I'll come back and be here, spend my whole life here?
No, not even close. I knew that I didn't think I'd ever want to teach in high school, knowing what I'm a business major, so I was a marketing guy, and came back but I wanted to work with kids, and the only way that you can do it really is to work in a school setting in order to make it happen. So I was fortunate. The school hired me. It was like, welcome back, Cotter. I think they felt they needed to give somebody a job.
Welcome back.
So I came back and was fortunate enough to get a position and been there ever since. It's a great place. It's a great place to be.
The thing, that is nice and that I'm a big advocate of is an AD and a coach. Okay, and I know people have gotten away from that.
There aren't many. Bobby just added it to his.
Bobby's in KD now?
Yep.
I like that. I always like that. I don't like just some separate.
Well,
AD,
it's awful tough. Things have changed, but it's always nice when I can talk to a coach and you can relate to what he's doing. Sometimes when you get into administration, unfortunately, the thing that you're great at, they move you away from in order to be an administrator. So I can still relate when a coach is having a problem with some players. You can at least help him. You got some recent experience in order to do it.
Now, as to this team in particular, you started rough this year, about 1-4, but you've turned it around really well.
I tell you what, I'm so proud of this team. We knew we've got a great group of players, and they've just molded together. We've got some basketball. Danny Anderson is having a great year, and Sammy Haas having a great year. But you got Mackenzie, Colin Kelly, Chris Catalano. Those guys have just started to come together. Jason Boulay. A lot of them are other sports people.
Boulay's a baseball guy.
Boulay's baseball. Mackenzie and Kelly are going for lacrosse. And then you just keep going down.
Rick Beardsley, you'll love hearing that.
Absolutely. We got Cam Harris, a big football player. Then you got Cody Miller, Jack Harrigan, Mike Schaefer, all the guys that were going down, Sicario Williams. So I'm mentioning them all because we've just molded together to become a team. Some of the kids coming up from JVs just to get some experience, but now we're at the point that they're starting to figure out what they need to do, and they really work hard. Defensively, we've gotten so much better. And I'm just proud of the way that they're playing. I just and we'll see what happens. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? But I'm just whatever it is. These guys are
They're already playoff
everything.
qualified, and once you get there, you never know. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
You got to be proud of Greg Paulus.
He's having a great year.
Yeah.
I keep knocking out that you could tell everything about his season when if you saw that when they won their first game. They're 0-5, a college team 0-5. And you went in and you would have thought they won the sectional championship or world championship. And so he has them just, and it's kind of what we try to build. You got to build community and a team in order to be successful.
Get fired up, working together.
Ability.
Yeah.
And it seems, he's obviously done that. And they've won some games. They beat Siena.
Yeah.
They were actually going this weekend. They were in first place in the MAC. And that's a great accomplishment.
Huge deal.
So it's he's doing a great job. We're really proud of him.
given the circumstances, it's a coach of the year argument. They keep it up. I mean,
I would agree with you.
Absolutely.
Even if they don't keep it up, I think that he's really shown that that he's put that team together. He's put a team together. He's taken basketball players and merged them and made them into a team.
Buddy, real quick, Cuse, we got 30 seconds here. Syracuse coaches doing a nice job with these guys now. Turning
I
things
tell you
around
what,
a bit.
they've done the same thing. Everybody counted them out, and all of a sudden now they're making some plays. And Boeheim is his usual self. He's honest when they weren't playing well. He was honest, and now that they're playing well, you make some shots. It's amazing what happens when you can make some shots in a basketball game.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Mike. Thank you.
503 here in the Q set. No, that's really, really awesome. You've been a great guy for a bunch of years. Awesome guy, Buddy Wiklinski. Eddie Leone, tremendous guy, and CBA is a tremendous school as well. So thanks so much for coming.
Thank you.
All right, Syracuse pregame. Seth and the crew will be they'll be here in about 30 seconds. 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 Here in about 30 seconds.